Today we're going to do upper neighbor tones, lower neighbor tones, and passing tones. So all upper neighbor tones and passing tones and lower neighbor tones are notes that are not part of the chord. So the first thing you do is you write an F chord. So you do that by just drawing an F chord here. So you write an F and then you make a snowman. So if there's a note in this measure that's not an F, A, or C, you circle it. So this is a C and this is a C. This is not an F, A, or C, so we circle it. Now an upper neighbor tone is when there's a note that kind of peeks over the fence. So these two notes have to be the same on either side of the upper neighbor tone. So like a C, and it goes up to the next letter name. So C, D, and goes back down to C. Here we have another upper neighbor tone. If we have a B flat, maybe if I do it this way, B flat, and I make a snowman on top of that. If it's not a B flat, D, or F, I circle it. That's an upper neighbor tone again. So again, we have two notes that are the same. So it goes B, it goes up to C, and back down to B. Okay, so you would label these upper neighbor tones. Upper neighbor tones. And you do the same thing here. So again, you go F, A, C. If it's not an F, A, or C, you circle it. This is a passing tone. A passing tone goes in alphabetical order. So like A, B, C. It can go backwards too. Like if it went downwards, it could go C, B, A. So backwards alphabetical. So passing tones are alphabetical as well. Okay, but it's like going up the stairs. So A, B, C. So this is a passing tone. So you'd label that passing tone. And this, of course, would be another upper neighbor tone. These two notes are on the same space. This one kind of peeks over the fence like a nosy neighbor. So C, D, and back down to C. So that's an upper neighbor tone. Here we have the C7. Of course, the 7 indicates that there's an extra note of the chord. So we just draw that in, C, E, G, B. So if it's not a C, E, G, or B, we circle it. So that's a passing tone because it's backwards alphabetical. E, D, C. Passing tone. Having trouble keeping my hands out of the way of the video. And this would be an upper neighbor tone because it goes up. Okay, so when you get down, you do the same thing in this as you did up here. When you get down to this final question, you have to write the chords. So it's a combination of the previous lesson 77 and passing tones and neighboring tones. So because we have two flats, we see two flats that were in B flat. Oh, that worked well. B flat major. Okay. So B flat major, I'll write that in here. Okay. And so then we start with assuming, would a B flat chord work here? You have to use some reasoning skills with these questions and assume that it's a particular chord, see if it works, and if it doesn't work, then you try a different chord. Here it looks like it would be nice spots for a 1, 4, 5, 7, 1, which is the chords that we've used mostly, as you can see in the previous example. Well, not in the previous example, I guess, but in this number 1 and on previous pages. So if we try a 1 chord, you just draw in the 1 chord. Does it ask for smooth voice leading? Yes, it does. So you would write in the B flat, D, F. If it's not a B flat, D, or F, you circle it. This is a passing tone because it's alphabetical, so you put passing tone. And this is an upper neighbor tone, so you put upper neighbor tone. And of course, you'd label B flat right here. Then you go on to the next chord and do the same thing, except you would do an inversion. So you can put your next chord, if we thought it was going to be a 4, B, C, D, E. We always try the 4 after 1 chord and see if that works. So E is the E affected by the key signature. Yes, F, A, C, E. It's an E flat. So then we'll try that chord and see if it'll work. E, G, B. If it's not an E, G, or B, we circle it. Boop. It's a lower neighbor tone. See how these two are the same notes and it goes down to the next letter name? That's a lower neighbor tone. Now we have to do the smooth voice leading. So from here to this note is too far away, and this note to here is too far away. So I'm going to take that B and I'm going to move it down. Leave the other notes where they are. So since this B is the lowest note here right now, I'm going to root first, second. It's a 6/4, which is second inversion. We did that in the last lesson. And it's a 4. Okay, so that concludes the passing tones and neighboring tones. Let me know if you have trouble.